If Mother Nature cooperates and let us play this baseball game tonight, we've got a dandy for you on PEGTV Public Access Sports. Fairhaven will be at the plate batting first, and the field will be post 31 from Rutland. Natural rivals, geographical rivals, student body that players on both sides have played as teammates and now against each other and as rivals, and this should be a great pitching matchup. We have TJ Oliver, number 25, on the mound for Rutland, and Sam Maycumber will be getting the start, an outstanding pitcher for Fairhaven. It'll be Ryan Gilbert, Joe Beeland, Sam Maycumber, the first three due up for Fairhaven. The post 49 squad, and hitting in that cleanup spot will be Kurt Hughes. I'll do the defense for you after the first pitch. So TJ Oliver, Mitch Blair, the battery for Rutland, and the first pitch of the ball game on a very windy and a threatening sky type of night. That'll be a ball one high. Yeah, the dark clouds has been ominous all day. We've had showers throughout the afternoon and projected right through to 7 o'clock tonight. So hopefully we can squeeze through that small window of opportunity here and get this game in. It'll be strike, 1-1 to count. Zach Aquistapace will get the start at first base defensively. Matt Merritt's at second base. Chad Ryan, the shortstop. Jeff Bloomer is at third base. I've already mentioned Mitch Blair behind the plate. TJ Oliver on the mound, and his third pitch will be called a strike, make it a 1-2 count. The outfield has Ryan Carter in left field, Alex Miskoski's in center, and Joe Rodolfi in right field. And you are up to date on everything. And it is a hitter's win tonight. That'll be a 2-2 count on the elevated fastball. It's a very strong and consistent breeze from home base to left center field. And that's going to help the hitters immensely if they get the ball lifted. And it's strange to say a hitter's wind. Boy, I just missed. Full count. Because you have two good pitchers tonight going. So we'll see a lot of side notes going on here tonight. So a 3-2 count, and the windup pitch on the way. He'll have him on the fastball. Gets the strikeout of Ryan Gilbert. Now Joe Beeland up. He'll be the starting second baseman for Fairhaven when they come out in the field defensively. So Oliver able to overcome a 3-2 count, get the strikeout. Maycumber on deck, Beeland at the plate. And we're scheduled for 7 innings tonight also. I forgot to mention that. That one snapped, but it was around the plate. That's one pitch that Oliver had really has mastered at a very young age. He's got that breaking ball with some just fantastic rotation on it. And something that I can already see this season when he's thrown, even though we're early in the Legion season, he's really worked on his fastball. And he's very young also. I mean, even though he's in his second season of Legion ball. And speaking of young, Mike McMahon came in against Bennington to pitch that 9th inning, a freshman for Rutland post 31, and did a fantastic job. And a lot of good mixture chemistry-wise on this post 31 squad. You know, as with that Fairhaven squad, and he'll now get the call there, and he will have a strikeout and a walk. So, and it was a close pitch, but too far inside to Beeland. Now Maycumber up, and Kurt Hughes on deck. Of course, Sam Maycumber played with a lot of these post 31 players when he was a member of the Rutland County Royals squad. He also pitched 1 year at MSJ, so you know he played with the Carters and people like that. So you know, like I said, there's a lot of like the Gilberts at Fairhaven, attended MSJ and played with. There's a lot of intermixing with all these teams. This is why this is a good. I'm glad to see the baseball improving and getting a lot better over at Fairhaven, because it makes for a real nice rivalry game like this. And like I said, they're 15 minutes apart for the fans to get here. See the sweep tag, and Beeland back safe. Aquistapace holding him out at first base. And TJ Oliver from the stretch will come in, and that is going to be fouled straight back. That wakes everybody up back there in the press box. So they struck Ryan Gilbert out to start the game off. Then they whacked Joe Beeland, and now Maycumber up there with a 0-2 count. Yeah, and that time Beeland was only a couple steps off the bag and easily just waltzed back to first base. The outfield has shifted. Maycumber with good power. He's got a quick bat also. He can pull the ball. That'll be right off the fist and into the screen, and we'll stay with a 0-2 count. Last time we saw post 31, they were coming off a win over Bennington, a 9-inning game, in which, man, they showed some tremendous defense and some power sprinkled throughout the lineup. A lot of contact hitters out there, as they were in double digits in hits for that ball game. I tried to come in with that backdoor curveball and missed that one high and goes to a 1-2 count. Again, Tony Sorelli, the head coach at post 31, and what you missed right there because I was talking is to throw to first base. Again, Beeland, very short lead for Joe Beeland over there. Temperature-wise, it's very comfortable. That's going to be at least one, maybe not. Yeah, they do get them, man. But tell you what, that was just a herky-jerky play all the way around. Merritt, I don't know if he had a problem coming up with the ball out of the glove, but it looked like it shouldn't have even been a close play at first base, but it was. And actually, I thought he was there safe, and then they almost got the runner at first. So Kurt Hughes up now with 2 down, and Maycomber over at first on that fielder's choice, and ooh, that'll be a ball. Yeah, so you take away the threatening clouds, the chance of thunder and lightning and rain, the heavy wind, and it's not a bad night to come here and watch a ball game. That's the luxury and the beauty of well, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to drop in, be cut off by Muskowski, and yeah, they're not going to be able to score him. He's going to go to third base, though, so we'll have runners at the corners as Muskowski able to get over there and get that ball cut off before it hit the gap. So Hughes, very good player anyways, during the Polney High School season. And he played for the Rutland County Royals for Glenn Carter and a bunch of these players also. Now Tyler Sharon up to catcher, first and third, and we'll see what Fairhaven wants to do on the bases. I personally, and I'm irrelevant, I know that, but love the situation. Send a runner from first, see if he creates something on the infield here, getting them throwing the ball around. Or even if they concede the steal, then you set up runners at second and third. 2 runners in scoring position. And Hughes going back to first base. Didn't really have a good lead that time. Again, the batter right now is Tyler Sharon. He's going to be the catcher for Fairhaven when they come play defense in the bottom half of the first. That's a good pitch right there. It's a strike. As far as arm strength in the outfield for Rutland, post 31, they've got good arms out there. Even though with 2 down, the runner's going to be off at third on the base hit, he'd score automatically. It's just if it was an extra base hit, would they try to send Hughes around? I'm just trying to set the table, telling you that the arms that are out there right now for that situation are very strong and accurate. I mean, Ryan Carter in left field comes to mind right away. Yeah, and Hughes is safe as I missed another throw over to first. Takes me in a little bit too to learn the move of the pitcher, so I can anticipate moving the camera over also. So Oliver with 2 down and a 2-2 count, and on deck will be Alan White. Looking at defense for Rutland. They got him, yep. You got to remember the runner, there's the tag. Yeah, I'll say because the runner crosses the plate before the tag, the run would have counted, and Hughes caught in that pickle play. Now that might have been a design pickle play, and he just got caught up and couldn't get the thing prolonged enough to let the run score. In any event, that's the 3rd out. We'll go to the bottom half of the first, scoreless. Fairhaven and Rutland, American Legion Baseball. So as you watch Fairhaven's Sam Maycomber take his final warm-ups. Again, he's a big, lean, tough throwing left-handed pitcher, and I tell you what, I love watching him pitch. The years I covered the Rutland County Royals baseball team, and he was a member of that, and he pitched. He was just magnificent to watch at a young age with the raw talent that was being developed, but also just the mind of a pitcher. He sequences well. He's going to be around the plate. He can ring up a lot of strikeouts, so get the bat off your shoulder early in the count, because if you take a couple pitches, you're going to be down in the count very fast, 0-2 or 1-2. So unless he has an off-kilter night, expect him to be around the plate. Chad Ryan, who's coming off a game in which he hit a home run over the left field wall against Bennington, will lead things off, and that's foul tip caught by the catcher, and it would have been a strike anyways, but it'll be a strike. Top 3 batters in the order: Chad Ryan, Jeff Bloomer, Zach Aquista-Pace, and if they get to the cleanup spot, it'll be Ryan Carter, and that's for post 31 in Rutland as Maycomber. Beautiful pitch. You see, down 0-2 in the count now. Yeah, there's pitchers who are strategically wild and unpredictable, where you can't be ready to pull the trigger on every pitch. Then there's pitchers who are going to be around the plate, and you just got to be all set with the mindset of throwing. Yeah, there's the first strikeout of the ball game, looking by Chad Ryan as it hit the inside corner. Throws a lot of heat. When I talked to Sam Maycomber in an interview a few years ago, He told me basically he just throws a fastball. He just changes, throws it inside, outside, up, down, moves it around, and possibly might just take a little bit of a pace off it, or put a little cut action on it with the cross seamer. But there is a curveball. No, ain't no doubt about it. He's 2 years past that interview, so I'm sure he's developing a few different pitches. And with his fastball, if Maycumber can get a consistent changeup, he'll just be lethal out there. He'll miss right there, and that'll make it a 1-1 count. But again, throwing with good velocity against Jeff Bloomer. Of course, Bloomer, the third baseman for Post 31, coming off a good defensive effort at third base against Bennington. And again, I'll be inside, and he'll get the call. And like I said before, he's up in the count already at 1-2 on Bloomer. Quistapay's on deck. He was the winning pitcher in that Bennington Post 13 game here that took place over the weekend, and it's starting to rain now. I expect this to be a brief shower. And that's going to be an error, possibly. And yep. So Gilbert couldn't handle it at shortstop, and it'll be the first base runner of the ball game for Post 31. Now Quistapay's coming on. Quistapay's had a booming double to center field against Bennington, and hit the base of the wall actually on the rolls. That rain coming down at a good clip, but again the clouds show a little bit of blue sky through them, so hopefully this will just be a quick thing here. Hopefully we won't get the thunder and lightning that was here earlier in the day. And I'll be just a little bit high to Quistapay's. So they have the strikeout, the error, and now Quistapay's up with Carter on deck. So they're right in the power part of the order for Post 31. And from the stretch, Maycumber will drop in the curveball ever so gently on the outside corner. And he's also got a great move to first base, Maycumber does. And don't forget, being a left-handed pitcher, he's got an advantage already, looking right at the base runner, but he's got a sweet move to first. And he'll just check the runner back, and well ahead of the throw, diving back, just get his uniform dirty, was Bloomer. So can I set that Fairhaven defense for you? And I want to correct myself. It was Hughes that made the error, not Gilbert. Because Gilbert will get all over me if he hears that. So I just overpowered him. Challenged him with the fastball. Had it elevated, and it went cross seam with that as it raised up in the strike zone, and goes to 1-2 in the count. Tyler Sharon's your catcher. Evan Davis will get to start at first base defensively. Joe Beeland is at second. Kurt Hughes is your shortstop. Ryan Gilbert is at third base. That'll miss high. They'll throw down, and yeah, he's going to be there ahead of the tag. It was a good throw. Just snapped it down there, but unfortunately it was a little bit high on the tag. And the outfield will have Carl Goodwin in left field, Tyler Gilbert's in center, and Alan White is your right fielder. And a Quistapay's with a 2-2 count. And that just missed. Tell you what, that had some motion and some movement, and that thing was twisting everywhere, and he just was a little bit outside with the pitch. Quistapay's got those long arms. He can reach out there on those outside pitches and get a piece of it. And that's where they went outside with the fastball, had him waving at it, and he'll strike out. That'll be the second strikeout of the first inning, and I'll bring up Ryan Carter. And this will be interesting because Carter used to catch for Maycumber both in the Rutland County Royals organization and also at MSJ when they played their freshman years together here at MSJ's field. So Carter and Maycumber with 2 down and a runner at first base for Post 31. That's Jeff Bloomer over there at first with a very conservative lead right now. And that fastball came in above the belt, above the letters actually, and that'll be high for a ball. And a lot more Post 31 baseball action for you throughout the summer. You should pick up a schedule, and really, get out there and watch a game in person. And just up, because we're tape delayed, I'll tell you some of the games down the road. And I'll start with July. We'll go with the month of July. July 1st, they have Woodstock at a 5:30 start time. That's a Tuesday night start at 5:30. That's a good way to start July off. Get down here and support Legion Baseball. Oh, it's a great pitch. And I'm kind of froze on it. I don't think he was expecting that. Then the 5th is a doubleheader. July 5th, Hartford will be here for a doubleheader, and that'll be great. Then Essex will be on that same Sunday, the 6th. So I'll have a doubleheader against Essex. And you can see me went upstairs with the fastball and missed high, and we'll have a 3-ball, 1-strike count. And again, the rain down to just a sprinkle now. I did take a look at the weather map on Channel 15 before I headed out, and Yeah, he'll get the strike called as Carter will, to his disbelief, head back and pick up the bat and get set to do it all again. And we will have a 3-2 count. So Maycomber with 2 strikeouts and a ground ball that turned into an error. Looking to get through that 3-4 spot in the lineup for post 31 without any damage being done. Long pause. Carter asked for time, and he'll step out now and gather it up. I'm just wiping down the camera because the rain came into the booth here. And the one thing the camera does not like is getting wet. There we go. Again, Bloomer's really not had more than a 4 or 5 step lead over there at first base. Scheduled for 7. I don't expect the Mercy rule to come into play, but if it does, it'd have to be 5 innings, 5 bats for whoever is behind trailing. You have to have that 10-run lead. And again, Carter will ask for time. Now, a lot of this could just be head games between Carter and Maycomber as the pitcher came to set just to step out and break his rhythm. He struck out Chad Ryan looking, and he struck out Aquistapace swinging. And he'll get, boy, tell you what, he got a call on a backdoor breaking ball with a 3-2 count. He will strike out 3. The base runner was on an error, and we'll go to the second inning, scoreless from St. Peter's Field. Haven's going to have Tyler Sharon back up there. Remember, he was at the plate when they picked off Hughes, so it'll be Sharon, White, Gilbert. It'll be Tyler Gilbert. There's a couple Gilberts going out there tonight. Siblings for Fairhaven Post 49, and you could tell you, I don't want to overpraise, but I'm just so impressed with Maycomber, and you could see in that first inning, he could have easily had a 1-2-3 inning if not for the error. But he had 3 strikeouts, and he faced the top 4 of the order, so very impressive. TJ Oliver back to work here. And again, he's featured the fastball quite a bit here in this first early part of the ball game. Last year, he was pretty much a 70% curveball pitcher, and he's been working on this down in Burton, and he's put some pop on the ball. That's going to drop in and be a base hit. Yeah, it's going to land right in front of Ryan Carter. He'll pick the ball up, and Fairhaven will have the leadoff batter on here to start the second inning. Look, they had a couple runners on in the first, just were not able to get them around. And now Alan White, the right fielder, and he'll step in from the left side. And of course, Aquistapace defensively is going to hold the runner on down at first base. And I should tell you, make note, the game against Windsor that was rained out here for a 9-inning affair earlier in June has been scheduled for a July 26th doubleheader now, and that will be here. So July 26th, change your schedule. They have it as an away game at Windsor, but it will become a home doubleheader here at St. Peter's Field. So noontime start, you get a doubleheader against Windsor. There's the throw to first, and diving back safely will be Sharon. So Oliver is working with people on base quite often here early in the contest. Of course, Mitch Blair behind the plate has a very decent arm. There's the bunt attempt to try to push down third baseline as Bloomer was back on the dirt, and that went foul, and it was a good idea, just didn't get executed. And White will step back in. Tyler Gilbert and Carl Goodwin and Evan Davis, and if they get through all that, they'll be back at the top of the order. Oliver does have the 1 strikeout. Again, a lot of arms on this roster this year for post 31. See right there, came inside with a fastball and jammed him up, and it'll be a 1-2 count. Caught him off guard, actually just pushed it in and powered it by him. Oh, I haven't mentioned to you too, also, I started to say the beauty of not being here tonight because of this brief rainstorm and the threat of storms, you can just go to www.pegtv.com and watch the game tape delayed on the computer on the internet. And he'll elevate, go outside, and get White on the strikeout. So the first out of the second inning comes on the second strikeout of the game for TJ Oliver. Now the center fielder, Tyler Gilbert. But yeah, you can get on the website for PEGTV.com and click video on demand and just walk through all the instructions. And it doesn't have to be sports. Runner going and the throw coming down. Merritt will go up and the runner will be safe. So Tyler Sharon will put himself in scoring position down at second base with a decent jump and just took off on early in the count and started his walking leadoff from second. And so Gilbert, now again with that runner at second, you go back to the outfield for post 31, and they really decent arms all the way around. Well, Rodolfi, Niskoski, and Carter, all pitchers also, but also very good strong arms out in the outfield. And right there, Oliver stepped off the rubber and wants time. See if him and Mitch Blair get on the same page here and get the sign down. Fairhaven threatened in the first. They're threatening here in the second. And you know, I never do give the phone number for Channel 15 just because of the new world internet. Everybody's on a computer thing. But if you want to do it the old-fashioned way and call them, it's 747-0151. And they're located at Building 24 in the House Center. And Saturday afternoons, starting at 4 o'clock, you can watch all the local sports on Games of the Week. Tom Leopold, the program director at Channel 15, loads up the server with all whoever handed what sports in for this week. Starts it at 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon and just lets it roll right through the church services on Sunday morning. And again, see the fastball really popping tonight for T.J. Oliver. And I'll leave an account out at 2-2 to Tyler Gilbert. And Fairhaven got that leadoff runner on in Sharon. Sharon stole second. And they left runners. Oh, that's got a chance to be trouble. Yeah, that's going to drop in, being charged by Rodolfi, and the throw coming home will be cut off. Yeah, you see quick space cut off right there. Rodolfi with a good hard charge on the ball. Didn't allow the runner to attempt to score, so we'll have runners at the corners. And now Carl Goodwin. So Carl Goodwin up with just one out. And runners at first and third now. It was a first and third situation in the top of the first that they picked Hughes off that ended the inning and ended the threat. See if they want to send the base runner, even though there's only one out here as opposed to the 2 outs in the first. That fastball behind inside. So let's see if they want to send Gilbert on a steal attempt with runners at the corners to see if they can draw the throw down to second base and possibly release the runner from third to go home. And that'll be high for a ball. As they're at the number 8 spot in the batting order, and Evan Davis, the first baseman, is the on-deck hitter for the post 49 Fairhaven squad. And TJ always seems to be more comfortable pitching from the full windup as opposed to the stretch, and he'll fall down in the count. 3 balls, no strikes. To me, always an interesting call here. If it's in the strike zone, do you green light him or you have him just taking all the way? And he'll be taken all the way, and he'll get a very generous strike called right there. So Goodwin with that 3-1 count now. They slide to the outside corner, and Oliver again looking right at the runner at third, and a very conservative lead by the runner at first, and I think he was just not convinced on the pitch he had selected to throw there and just wanted some more time between pitches. And oh, good, just reared back, fired away. Full count now, so he's come back from a 3-0 count. Yeah, they're going to call it. He was not in contact with the rubber, and that will be an illegal pitch. And that'll allow the first run of the game to come in. And those are young mistakes. Gilbert will take second base. I'm just updating my scorebook. So Goodwin now with runner at second base, and Tony Sorelli out to discuss. I mean, it was a pretty straightforward call right there. There really is not a lot of, I think, to question, unless they're just setting the table so when they come back out and they're talking about the Fairhaven pitcher coming to set. But as far as the call that just took place allowed the run to come in, it was pretty black and white, pretty clear cut. So it'll be 1-0 Fairhaven, as that was Tyler Sharon that came in to score. Remember, he had the leadoff single, then stole second, went to third on another single, and just was allowed to come home. Oh, look at that. And he came back to make it a full count now, yeah, right? Because they wiped the pitch out at the 3-2 count. I kind of got caught up there with that, but on the illegal pitch, was just a no-show. So now it goes to the 3-2 count, and he got him to swing at a pitch out of the strike zone, up and in, and he'll have 2 strikeouts this inning, 3 for the ball game, and that's a shame because you look at he could be looking at first and third, 2 down with the strikeouts. Instead, it's runner at second, run in, and Evan Davis up now. And so Evan Davis trying to pick up another run here for post 49. Again, they got a real solid ball club, post 49 does. Even though Patch is injured, Andrew Patch I had on my score sheet as being an injured player. When he's healthy, he's a very good pitcher, very good hitter. And big part of that roster for Fairhaven post 49. But you start looking up and down the roster, and again, they're going to be solid, and they're going to be a problem for a lot of people this year. Well, nice mixture of pitches right there, and it's just a big old lollipop of a curveball for a strike 2. And like I said, TJ Oliver with 3 strikeouts in the ball game and not quite 3 innings of work. And he elected to go high and away with the fastball, and that time it missed, and couldn't get the batter to chase it, so it'll go to a 1-2 count. And then we had a little brief rainstorm, and that should be to Muskowski in center field. He'll back up about 5 steps, makes the grab. That's the inning, but Fairhaven will pick up the game's first run, and he'll go to the bottom of the second with the lead over post 31. And so Sam Maycomer take to a 1-0 lead. We'll be looking at the DH, Aaron Bloomer, Mitch Blair, and Joe Rodolfi, the 3 up here. Again, post 31 did get a runner on in the first inning. That was via the error by the shortstop, Kurt Hughes. And Maycomer, other than that, was overpowering, striking out got all 3 outs on a strikeout, and that'll be down to second base. And Beelan will stay down on it, throw to first, and they'll get the 4-3 ground out to get the second inning underway defensively here for the post 49 squad. They'll bring up the catcher, Mitch Blair, who had a multiple hit game against Bennington, and I have to check my, well, I got Rodolfi coming up, but I had Blair as was officially next in my book, but they'll go with Rodolfi here. So they must have made a change just before the game, because I had the official lineup. And that's what I copied it out of. So Rodolfi now. Must be Blair on deck. So the lefty Rodolfi up there with nobody on base and 1 down. That's going to be over the top of Maycomber, and picked up by Hughes. Sets, fires, and does just get him. Rodolfi runs very well down the line. That was a good play by Kurt Hughes, and 2 down now on a couple of ground outs. And I've got to wait and see who's actually up there. Nope. I don't know what happened to Mitch Blair. So they bring up Alex Muskowski, the center fielder, with 2 down. And a strike called. Well, let me correct my book then. That one will just miss, and so Muskowski up there, as I fix my book up. All right, we do know there's 2 outs and nobody on base, and 3 strikeouts in the ball game, 1 error, a couple ground outs, and that one came in high. Won't get the benefit of the call right there, and there'll be a 2-1 count. One of the rare times Maycomer's been down in the count here. You know, we're only in the second inning. He's looked strong out there for Fairhaven. And man, you tell you what, you can't get more off the fist than that, than what Muskowski just did. Almost a swinging on necessity not to get hit, but that had to sting a little bit. That's coming inside. Again, Maycomber with his fastball, he's got that down and away action to the right-handed hitter, but don't forget Muskowski, that's going to be coming right in on him with that cut action. Oh, great pitch. That's going to end the inning. That'll be the 4th strikeout of the ball game for Maycomber, and Fairhaven will hold that 1-0 lead heading into the 3rd inning of play here from St. Peter's Field. So post 49 back around at the top of the order. Ryan Gilbert, of course, played his high school ball here on this field as he attended MSJ. And the first inning he struck out. He'll be followed by Joe Beelan and then Sam Maycomber. That's TJ Oliver looking for a inning without a lot of stress. He's had base runners on the first 2 innings, and it was his miscue on the rubber that caused the run allowed to come in from third base. So it's 1-0 Fairhaven. We're in the top of the 3rd, scheduled for 7. And Oliver back to that full windup, getting the sign quickly down here, and we'll miss down and away for a 1-1 count. That defense still has Aquistapace at first base, Merritt at second, Ryan is at short, Bloomer's at third. Mitch Blair behind the plate giving the sign right now. And I mentioned TJ Oliver is on the mound, and that's foul ball. That'll be a strike on a foul ball. Joe Rodolfi is in right field. Your center fielder is Alex Miskovsky, and Ryan Carter is the left fielder. That's the complete defense now for Post 31. Their head coach is Tony Sorelli. Oh, yeah, and George Bennett wanted me to make sure to mention his name tonight in a positive way. And George Bennett, one of the assistant coaches, out there for Post 31, along with Jamie Briggs, the other assistant, and of course Ron Fairbanks is the general manager, and Natasha McPhee is the Batgirl. There, and everybody got their plugs in, and we're set to go back to baseball with a 2-2 count. Oliver right around the knees, a little bit low, couldn't get the call. He's got 3 strikeouts in the ball game, 1 in the first, 2 in the second. That's going to be a foul ball out of play down the first baseline. Yeah, Post 31 with a bunch of ball games clumped together, which is good news. You get out here to St. Peter's Field and get to watch them all. But not the bad news, the other flip side of that, you really want to get as many innings out of your starting pitcher as possible. There's a lot of arms available for Rutland, but you want to really not burn them up. I'm talking about lots of games in a short period of time. There's going to be the 4th strikeout of the ball game. Second time Gilbert has gone down on strikes, and now Joe Beeland up. Yeah, Beeland hit into he walked and then eventually was retired on a force out, but he had a walk his first time up. And Beeland played for the Red Thunder, I believe, also one of the summer all-star teams that I used to cover along with the Rutland County Royals. And he'll look at strike 1 right there. Top of the 3rd, and Fairhaven Post 49 with the 1-0 lead over Rutland Post 31. And that one got short arm, came almost 3/4 sidearm with the pitch, and it bounced in the dirt in foul territory, and it'll make it a 1-1 count. Yeah, and Sam Maycumber on deck will represent a left-handed hitter for Fairhaven. That's going to be a slow little grounder. Matt Merritt will stay down on the ball, flip the first, and he'll get the 4-3 ground out. So 2 down here, 2 up, 2 down, and looking for a 1-2-3 inning. His first of the ball game will be Oliver's. He'll be looking at Maycumber, who had a fielder's choice back in the first. And of course, number 4 hitter is Kurt Hughes. He's on deck. There's the sun back out here at St. Peter's Field. Again, very comfortable temperature. And that breeze, like I said, blowing out from home base to left center field has died down quite a bit since that brief rain shower we've had. And that'll be too high now, the strike zone for a 2-ball, no strike count. Yeah, so, I mean, we've already seen Bennington play. We've got Fairhaven tonight, and like I mentioned, there's Woodstock, Hartford, Essex, South Royalton, all in the very, very near future. Boy, Mitch Blair will be looking, and did he grab it? He did. He made that catch. He was right along the wall, and just a good job of going tight to the wall, gave himself space to come back, and that'll be the 3rd out on a nice catch by Mitch Blair for Post 31. But Fairhaven will maintain that 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the 3rd. So the first pitch at the bottom of the 3rd is going to be a bunt attempt. It's popped up and looks to be playable, and it'll be caught and held on to as Maycumber and Sharon get tangled up, and it's clearly called off by the catcher. So they tried to make the pitcher move around with the bunt attempt. That was Matt Merritt, by the way, at the plate. Well, I don't know how, but somewhere I missed a complete at-bat, or they did. One or the other, but top of the order, Chad Rhinup, he struck out looking back in the first. It's Post 31 now getting their second look through the lineup at Sam Maycumber. He's got the 4 strikeouts as we're in the 3rd inning. He has not allowed a base hit. There was the misplayed ball at shortstop that allowed a runner to get on, but he has no walks issued. And you know, he's got such a fluid. Watch his mechanics on his windup and his delivery. Everything's just so in sync, and his balance is very good out there on the mound. Now, I know he's worked with his father a lot on the pitching, but just picturesque efficiency right there. That's going to be on the second base. Beelan will go to first, and they'll have 2 down here in the 3rd. Again, right around the plate the whole night. Always in the strike zone, never issues a lot of walks, doesn't hurt himself. Now Bloomer up. And Bloomer, he reached on the air on the ground ball that was hit to shortstop Hughes, who bobbled it and No damage done after that mistake, and that curveball breaks too far inside. And then you see the nice action on it, nice movement on his pitches out there. As the sun in full bloom now. And that is tough on your left fielder, your third baseman, shortstop, as they got to look right up into that sun trying to catch those pop flies. And you could see the wave at the ball by Bloomer and couldn't catch up to that Maycomber Express. It was high and away. And with the 1-1 count, that'll be off into foul territory. It'll be retrieved now by Sharon, the catcher, as he will pick up the foul ball. And again, Evan Davis is defensively at first base. Joe Beeland is at second. Kurt Hughes is the shortstop for Fairhaven. Ryan Gilbert's at third. Carl Goodwin, Tyler Gilbert, and Alan White's the outfield. And Sam Maycomber on the mound looking for out number 3 here of the third inning. And that's going to be foul. Oh, great attempt over there at first base by Davis, as he just almost came up with a fantastic catch in foul territory, but it'll just be a strike. 7 in a row retired since the error, so he's looking for the 8th in a row right here. He's retired 7 in a row since that error in the first inning, Maycomber has. And again, he started in a rhythm and he's maintained his rhythm. Foul tip caught. Strikeout number 5. That's the inning. He's now retired 8 in a row, and Fairhaven will head into the 4th with that 1-0 lead over post 31. TJ Oliver coming off his first 1-2-3 inning. We'll be looking at Kurt Hughes, Tyler Sharon, and Alan White. These are right in the middle of the order here for Fairhaven. Fairhaven with that run in the second inning. Yeah, Hughes had a single back in the first and was eventually picked off for the third out of that inning. He'll start him off with a breaking ball, strike 1. Again, the shadows over the first baseline starting to creep out a little bit, but St. Peter's Field, a notorious sun field in that left center field region, you know, shortstop, third base. A lot of balls get lost up in the sunshine out in that area over the many decades. And TJ Oliver likes the sign, will come inside and, whoa, get the call. Strike, and I gotta tell you, Kurt Hughes stepped out in disbelief of that strike call. It's been pretty flexible back there. Now it'll be short hopped and caught for a ball by the catcher back there, who I still believe is Mitch Blair, and somewhere along the line I missed his at bat. I don't know. I'll have to watch the tape. Boy, you see him frame it, and you can't get the call, and that will be outside low. And Kurt Hughes will be on for the second time tonight, so he's got a walk now. He had a base hit earlier, and they'll bring up Tyler Sharon. Sharon had a single back in the second inning. Now, Kurt Hughes with outstanding speed down at first base. What Fairhaven wants to do as far as maybe manufacturing some offense here with their base running. Bloomer coming in on the grass at third base. Quista Pace with the tag a little bit late, and that pickoff move by Oliver. Yep, so 2 of the 4 innings for Fairhaven's been able to get the leadoff batter on. Trying to small ball him over. Not a bad move considering the way that Maycomber's been pitching and playing for another run here. 1 run at a time with a pitcher like Maycomber can mean an awful lot. I mean, a 2-run lead with a guy like that. So the sacrifice laid down beautiful. Now Alan White up, he struck out back in the second. He's been 1 of 4 strikeouts that Oliver has. Yeah, so TJ will let that one go high and out of the strike zone. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Fairhaven with the lead. And they have a runner down in scoring position at second base. Again, Oliver from the stretch with the sun at his back will come to set, and the pitch, breaking ball, came in high, caught high, and it'll be called a ball. So 2-0 count to Alan White. And Tyler Gilbert is the on-deck hitter. So Tyler Gilbert, the center fielder, awaits on deck. A good pitch. Yeah, he just nursed that one right into the glove, right to the target on a beautiful delivery. And that was critical. Goes to 2-1 now instead of a 3-0 count. And way out of the strike zone. That was the pitch he struck him out on back in the last at bat for White. Got him to chase again here, and it's a 2-2 count. So Oliver looking for, this would be a big out right here. This would be the second out if he can get him on a strikeout and I'll let the runner advance. And it wrapped itself around the plate. It was a backdoor curveball, and that'll push it to a full count now. And I see no reason why not come back with that elevated fastball he's going to swing at a couple times tonight. Oh, taking it right down the pipe. You see Alan White with a good look at it and admired it, and he'll become the 5th strikeout victim, 2nd time he has struck out tonight. Yeah, Tyler Gilbert up. He had a single back in the 2nd. That's a big out because the runner can't advance past 2nd, and now there's 2 down. And again, with 2 strikes, a pitch like that, I'm not really sure how these youngsters can not get that bat off their shoulder and know you got 2 strikes. That'll be high for a ball. And again, the grass surface is damp, it's wet from the rainstorm, so that ball can get to the gaps in the outfield if it's hit on the ground on a line where it skids off the wet grass surface, so they got to be very aware of that. But I tell you right now, they got Muskowski way over in right center, and there's a big gap in left center between Carter, the left fielder, Muskowski in center field, and there's a right-handed hitter up. Which would say to me they're expecting a fastball. Got like that. That's going to be the short, long throw for Chad Ryan, and got him. And that's a design play. They skip popping over, and Quistapace is like a vacuum cleaner over there. He sucks everything up. Another good scoop out of the dirt by Zach, and they'll strand another runner in scoring position for Fairhaven will, but they'll hold on to that 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the 4th. So they'll be looking at the middle of the order. We'll see on Montgomery. He's going to look at number 3, 4, 5 spot. He's looking at a Quistapace at the plate right now, then Carter, then Bloomer scheduled up here. Montgomery with the 5 strikeouts to this point in the ball game, and we'll start off with a strike right there. Quistapace was a strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. It was a very impressive 1st inning. He struck out a Quistapace and Carter with a runner on base. And Montgomery doesn't dilly-dally a lot around the with the signs. He gets the sign and just catches and fires. Got a good pace to the game. Keeps a nice rhythm. And he's up 0-2 now. Told you, he's a guy who's going to be around the plate. He's going to be up in the count on it if you don't get the bat off your shoulder early in the sequence. And he's pretty much done that early on here. Well, we're not early. We're in the middle of the game right now. We're in the bottom of the 4th, scheduled for 7. And that will tail away a little bit too far outside. Right idea. Again, he brought the ball up and away from the right-handed hitter. So a 1-2 count. And so Maycomer able to pitch from the full wind up here. Will kick and fire, and that'll go outside on him. So 2-2 count. That defense looks like it stayed intact with Davis at first, Beelan at 2nd, Hughes at short, Ryan Gilbert at 3rd, Carl Goodwin, Tyler Gilbert, and Alan White the outfield, with Tyler Sharon behind the plate doing the catching for Fairhaven. Got him. Yeah, just completely owned him with the curveball. Had him chopping wood on that one. So Quistapace will strike out for the 2nd time in the ball game. And that'll bring up Carter, who struck out looking on what he thought was ball 4 back in the 1st inning. And by all accounts, it should be the DH on deck, Aaron Bloomer. Again, not a lot of hits to talk about tonight, which I didn't expect to see a lot of hits tonight from Rutland. They have had the 1 base runner reach via the error, which was Bloomer. Other than that, there's been groundouts and strikeouts, which means that fastballs, he's been keeping it down low. He's getting not a lot of flyouts at all. Just the 1st inning, Ryan struck out, Quistapace struck out, Carter struck out. Then the 3rd inning was a 1-2-3 inning with a couple groundouts and a strikeout. And the only pop-up that was caught for an out was a foul ball the catcher got. That's put into play down to Joe Beelan. He'll stay down on the ball, flip to first, and get the out on that 4-3 ground out. And again, Maycomber, this very talented pitcher, makes it look just a pleasure to watch. Since the error back in the 1st, he's retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row. Got now Aaron Bloomer up. Yeah, Bloomer grounded out to the shortstop Hughes, his only at bat. So with 2 outs here, post 31 really looking for their first legitimate hit of the ball game, and that's just great location, outside corner of the right-handed hitter down low. I'm looking at my book, and I don't know who I missed, but Mitch Blair is the on-deck hitter. Yep. So obviously, somewhere along the line, either he didn't bat or I missed him. The odds are I missed him. In any event, it's a 1-1 count. That'll be fouled into the screen. The ball will be picked up by Sharon. And I just want to, somewhere along the line, I gotta fill my book in the correct way. There we go. So a 1-2 count, 2 outs, 1-0 Fairhaven, bottom of the 4th. And Aaron Bloomer, the DH tonight, will chop that into the ground. Maycomer will just casually pick it up, fire to first, and that's the inning. He's retired 11 in a row, and Fairhaven will have that 1-0 lead going into the 5th. Number 8, number 9, then top of the order as far as where Fairhaven is in the batting spot right now. Carl Goodwin up, Evan Davis, and then Ryan Gilbert. Now Goodwin struck out back in the 2nd. This is only his 2nd at bat, so he gets a chance to see if he picked anything up after that first at bat differently from TJ Oliver. The only run coming back in the 2nd inning, the 1st and 3rd situation, Oliver called for the block, and that's how the run came in. Boy, that's fouled just off the catcher's mask straight back, and he had a good rip at that pitch. Again, Fairhaven, you start looking through their order, and they had a walk and a single back in the 1st. Then they had a couple singles in the 2nd, and not a lot to talk about offensively tonight for either side. And that's going to be a nice pitch on the inside corner fastball. That'll be the 2nd time Goodwin strikes out, and that'll become the 6th strikeout of the ball game for TJ Oliver. So he'll get that leadoff batter out for the 3rd time in 5 innings tonight. Evan Davis up now. He flied out to Muskoski in center field. If he's going to be the one coming to the plate, they're going to do a pinch hitter here, I believe. No, Evan Davis just late getting his bat, and he'll get out there. Again, there was a brief rain shower early in the ball game, but since then the sun's come out, the skies broke open, and the breeze that was so strong at the start of the ball game's died down very nicely, and that's going to be a strike called on a first pitch breaking ball. Oliver's, especially you go back to the 3rd, 4th inning here, start off the 5th, he's looked very strong. And that's going to be Muskoski coming back, and that's going to be over. Oh, he's kind of gliding there, and I thought he was going to have the catch, and that'll become a double now for Davis. Now, I'm not sure, without talking to the young man, if he lost that in the sun or just misjudged it, but it kind of got caught in that breeze and just went further back than he anticipated, but that will put a runner in scoring position with just 1 out in the top of the order. Ryan Gilbert, he struck out in the 1st, he struck out in the 3rd. Joe Beeland on deck for Fairhaven. And what's going on right now is the discussion over there with the batter and the 3rd base coach. I'm just looking on the corners. They have 3rd baseman back even with the bag. Now, I can only speculate. Bunting wouldn't be a bad thing here. 2 strikeouts right now to his credit, and the 3rd baseman way back he's swinging away, and that's going to be fouled up, and good chase by Rodolfi, and see him have to stop for the fence, and he'll go out of play, and it'll just become a foul ball strike. As Oliver will get a new baseball tossed to him. Yeah, Rob Dorian not starting tonight inside his customary center field position, and I can only speculate. He's part of the Vermont High School All-Star basketball team that will be playing the European high school team in an exhibition game later this week, and then he'll miss time also for the Western Massachusetts Vermont High School Basketball Classic on Saturday, so he might not be getting the start here tonight just because he's going to be missing a couple games, if that's a team thing, team rule. Well, that's a good pitch right off the fist, fouled straight back. Now make it a 1-2 count now. So Gilbert trying to avoid becoming a 3 strikeout victim, or striking out 3 times tonight. And again, while we got a little break right here, the website for PEGTV, easy to remember, www.pegtv.com. It's got all the information you need. They got them in a rundown. Yeah, there's a throw. They got pickle play. I'll spread the shot out. Yeah, they had a great move by Oliver, and they're going to make the throw. And I'm waiting for the call. They call him out. He asked for help. The home base umpire asked for help. He went to the field umpire, and I think Fairhaven might have got the short in right there, as that looked like a very good slide away from the bag, and I think they held the ball just a tad too long to make the throw, and they'll get a little home cooking on that one, and they'll call him out. That's the second player they've gotten tonight out. Berlin has on a pickle or a pickoff play. But the throw was high to third base. He had to reach to the outfield portion of the bag to get it, bring it down, make the tag. The slide was a hook slide away, and he called him out. The home base umpire literally looked and could not make the call. And then he asked for the appeal or help from the field umpire, and he called him out. I had a very good angle from this right into third base, so you make your own judgment. And Gilbert, oh, what a waste. He's going to have a single that might have scored the run that just got picked off. Or the runner that just got picked off might have scored on that single, so Gilbert will avoid a third strikeout and come up with a base hit. So a double and a single, no runs yet here in this fifth inning. They're Fairhaven squad with Joe Beeland up. He's walked and grounded out to Matt Merritt at second base. And Oliver with a quick throw over there to Gilbert, who went in kind of awkwardly to the bag, but he seems to be all right. It's a Quista pace where they're holding him on at first base. We're in the top of the fifth, scheduled for 7. Doesn't look like the mercy rule will become a factor. And that one faded a little bit too far outside to get the call. If Beeland can extend it to another batter, it'll be Maycomber on deck for post 49. Yeah, there goes the runner and the throw down. But I tell you what, a lot of herky-jerky stuff going on. The runner kind of hesitated, and the catcher kind of double pumped, and in the end, Gilbert's safe at second, and Beeland now with a chance to do some damage with a base hit. And Gilbert with good speed down there. Ryan Gilbert with good speed down at second base. Ooh. Pitch called a ball. Must have been just a tad bit low as he had him on the inside corner at the knee. So in a game that's not featured a lot of offense, every run, boy, is just precious. And that draws oohs and ahs from the Fairhaven side as they're trying to gauge the strike zone tonight. And that'll be ball 4, so that'll be a walk. And again, you start going back to the a double, a single, and a walk, and no runs yet. So Beeland will be down at first base. They've got Gilbert at second, and Sam Maycomber up. His last time up, Maycomber fouled out to Mitch Blair, the catcher, and he was in foul territory right against the screen, the retaining wall, the backdrop there to make the catch. And so with 2 down and 2 on, and there's the second bot called. Yep. They allow the runners to move on, and that's twice now that Oliver has been called for it, and he's taking a little walk. He's not very happy with it. And it's big because now a wild pitch or a pass ball or an error on the infield or whatever can score a run. So Maycomber looking to do some insulating here, putting some padding between post 31 and post 49. Could swing through that one for a strike. Also, he came fastball, then breaking ball, and he's got him off balance. Nice mixture throughout tonight by both pitchers. Really, it's been a very well pitched ball game from both sides tonight. So an 0-2 count, 2 out, 2 on. He missed, but I like his train of thought there. He brought it just up the ladder and out of the strike zone, trying to, especially the left-hander, trying to kind of wave at those high outside pitches. But Maycomber very disciplined at the plate. Yeah, he's gone. Fastball, curveball. Well, with a 2-2 count, you make the call. He really should develop a changeup. That would just be a good out pitch. And Maycomber also to complement the rest of their pitches. Well, he went back-to-back breaking balls, and now he's ran to a full count at 3-2. He's got Kurt Hughes on deck if he issues the walk here to Maycomber, or gets him on base in any way. That is going to be out of play right there. Oliver got a little help from his counterpart as he did go up and chase one. That would have been ball 4, and it got fouled out of play. So we'll stay with a 3-2 count and the 2 outs. 1-0. Fairhaven with the lead. And tell you what, they've got big runs sitting down at second and third. On a tight game like this, or just did get a piece of that off-speed pitch to stay alive. Now each pitcher with 6 strikeouts in the ball game. And like I said, we're in the top of the 5th, and I think we're going to go all. I know we're going to go all 7. As Maycomber reached up, and that was an awkward hit. There's a long throw by Chad Ryan, and he'll just get him, and they'll strand a couple more in scoring position, and we'll stay 1-0 Fairhaven as we go to the bottom of the 5th on PEGTV. Nine outs to work with for post 31, and they're looking to mount any type of offense together right now as they trail by 1. Mitch Blair up the catcher for post 31. He'll start things off here in the bottom of the 5th. And I cannot tell you what he did his first at bat because I completely missed his at bat. I honestly had to have missed it. My fault. And I don't know how, because I'm watching the game through the lens and doing my book, and this middle age turning to old age stuff is for the birds, let me tell you. That'll be a ball, so a 1-1 count. So from what I can tell, but it means nothing obviously, Rodolphe should be the on-deck hitter. So Blair, he's going to have a base hit, and that is going to come rolling into the left fielder, and he'll quickly get the ball in. So Blair will be at first base, and I believe that's the first time tonight, yeah, that Rutland has had the leadoff batter get on. And then Joe Rodolphe, now he grounded out to the shortstop, Hughes. So yeah, they'll go through a rash of lefties now. So they'll go through Rodolphe, then Muskoski, and then it should be Matt Meyer next. Now, down to 1 run and not getting a lot of hits. Do you small ball him over? We'll find out here in just a second. So Rodolphe, and there's going to be a move to first. I mean, again, not a big lead at all. It's Maycomber. That wasn't as good stuff either. It's just, I know you're there, moving, so just flip it over to first. You see the shadows coming out near the pitcher's mound now as we're, again, just as far as the left fielder and the third baseman going shortstop, though, they're looking to just a brilliant sunshine. Yeah, trying to small ball it and didn't execute it, and lucky that didn't get caught in a pop fly, as it'll be a strikeout of play, and Rodolphe will head back in. And no, I think he started with the bunt. He's going to stay with it now. I know there's 1 strike, but they have the third baseman defensively shaking hands with him down there. That's Ryan Gilbert defensively in him just about. Well, he could go a few more steps, but other than that, he's charging, and they are going to try to bunt again. And did he make the catch? Oh, yes. No, they're going to make the throw, and so he got the out as he made the catch, as he couldn't get the bunt down. Then he tried to make the throw to first and get the double play. Just a great job on that right there by Fairhaven. And again, it's just, no offense to Rodolphe, it's just lack of execution. So they get the out, do not advance the base runner, and we're going to have a pinch hitter, Sorelli, Mike Sorelli, coming out to bat for Muskoski. So this will be his first at bat of the ball game, so he'll get to face Mr. Maycomber now. Yep. That pretty much. No, that bat went by the wayside. Like I said, the bunt wasn't laid down. They couldn't get Blair over to second, and Fairhaven got the out. And Sorelli, I would anticipate, would be swinging away here. Yep, and he just swings through that fastball right off the bench and into the fire. And Maycomber with 6 strikeouts in the ball game. He struck out 3 in the first. There was the error that ruined a 1-2-3 inning there for him. He had 1 strikeout in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. And he could not hold up on that. And He's going to be down in the count very quickly, 0-2. Again, Rutland able to get the leadoff batter on Mitch Blair with a single to left field, and the bunt attempt was popped up, and Gilbert made the catch at third by the third baseman, and that's strike three. Yep, there's the 7th strikeout of the ball game. That was a quick at bat, and should be Matt. Yep, Matt Merritt. I just wait because my book's all messed up. So Matt Merritt up there. So that leadoff single, they not looking too good right now. They gotta find some offenses. We're in the bottom of the 5th, scheduled for 7. Fairhaven on the other side has stranded 5 runners in scoring position throughout the ball game. So that's a big number on the flip side, since it's only 1-0, and they have stranded 5 runners in scoring position. Fairhaven has. There's a little lob throw over, and Blair was just about 3 steps off the bag. Now in a 7-inning game, and a young guy who's pitched his, well, that's got a chance to drop. That's got a chance to drop, and it will. Where is everybody? Oh, and it gets past the outfielder, and they're going to send him or hold him. They're going to hold him up. So a little fister of a base hit hits that wet turf that I'm talking about, that rainstorm, with some dew on the grass, some wetness on the grass, and that ball just kind of skidding around. And that's kind of break Rutland needed as they're around to the top of the order now. Chad Ryan. So to say, with somebody who's pitched as much as Maycomber has throughout his life, I hate to say his life because he's just a junior, but he's the kind of guy you would expect to be able to get 7 innings, a complete game out of, a 7-inning game out of. So they're going to talk a little strategy right here. So Chad Ryan struck out looking in the 1st, and he grounded out to the second baseman, Joe Beeland. That was back in the 3rd inning. 7 strikeouts in the ball game for Sam Maycomber, and Rutland with their biggest threat, best threat of the ball game, actually, right here. 2 down and 2nd and 3rd. And again, that just not be able to execute that bunt earlier in this inning, huge. As Blair had a single, then Merritt had the single, then the error on the outfielders, and that's what I mean. You leave like Fairhaven does, all those runners in scoring position, and your pitcher's pitched a whale of a game, but all of a sudden he's just 1 pitch away from being on the downside of a score here. So, and when chances become so very few today for Rutland, they got to take advantage of this, especially at the top of the order. And Chad Ryan watched that very carefully all the way in as it was outside for a ball. Jeff Bloomer is the on-deck hitter in case they can extend it to another batter here. Yeah, and he'll get that strike call. And boy, I tell you, Maycomber again to that right-handed hitter. That's his normal, right from Rutland County Royals, right up through MSJ to here in post 49. His fastball tails away from the right-handed hitter, and just a thing of beauty to watch. That one a little bit too far. And like I said, Chad Ryan hit one out of the park against Bennington over the left field wall. And a surprising show of power. He himself told me in the dugout he was surprised. That's going to be fouled out of play, and that'll leave him the count out at 2-2. So big pitch coming up right here as, again, Rutland, first time they've had runners in scoring position in the ball game. Yeah, I mean, other than that, the only base runner they had was Bloomer, and he reached on an error and got stranded at 1st. So they took it from the 1st to the 5th inning to get another base runner. Yeah. Threw him a curveball and got him. He wasn't expecting it, and that will leave them with 2nd and 3rd, and big strikeout. Strikeout number 8 ends the threat here in the 5th. So TJ Oliver's evening on the mound is done. He is giving way to Joe Rodolfi, the lefty out there now, number 13. So Rodolfi will start the bottom of the 6th. TJ Oliver with 6 strikeouts in the ball game. He balked in the game's only run back in the 2nd inning, and he has moved to the right field defensively now, and Mike Serino is coming to replace Muskoski in center field, and I believe that's up to date on all the changes for post 31. And that's short hopped in there to Mitch Blair. He'll scoop it up, and Rodolfi, a very good pitcher. He's going to be looking at Hughes, Sharon, and White due up here right in the middle of the order for Fairhaven. He'll drop down in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. So Rutland with an opportunity in the bottom of the 5th, 2nd and 3rd. Maycomber threw a 2-strike breaking ball. He'd gone all fastballs to that point and really caught Chad Ryan off guard, and that one's right there for a strike. And Rodolphe, gosh, I covered him in the Junior Babe Ruth and Senior Babe Ruth tournament games, and here he is on Legion Ball. And big curveball right there, and he'll even the count out with a swing and a miss, 2-2. Well, I didn't really expect a lot of scoring tonight and a lot of offense, and pretty much he'll just miss. I was waiting to count the strike. I got 14 strikeouts between the two teams tonight, and that's not bad because they're only in the top of the 6. So that looks like Sereno is going to go back. No, he's called off, and ooh, it'll be caught by TJ Oliver, and good job of communicating to each other out there when they got close in proximity, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Yeah, Sharon up. Now he's singled, and then he sacrifice bunted back in the 4th. Very successful sacrifice bunt. So the base is clear and 1 out, and Rodolphe still able to pitch from the stretch. We'll let that fastball sail a little bit outside. I already mentioned the changes defensively, but I'll just remind you who's still out there. Mitch Blair's still the catcher. Jeff Bloomer's at 3rd. Chad Ryan's the shortstop. Matt Merritt is at 2nd. And Zach Aquistapace is at 1st base. Ryan Carter remains in left field. We've already mentioned Sereno and Oliver rounding out the outfield for post 31. Yeah, and Rodolphe's same type of pitcher if we've seen tonight. When they get into a rhythm, they can set you down 5, 6, 7 in a row. And he's got quite a few pitches he throws out there. Maycomber, I kind of lost track of it, but he had retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in a row until that threat in the last inning. So he retired 14 in a row. That's a walk right there. I believe I wasn't watching. Yeah. So running down at first base with 1 out, and Alan White up. Alan White has struck out twice tonight. Once on a called 3rd strike and once swinging. So again, Fairhaven, I don't know, with that 1 out small ball, I put that on the back burner, but we'll see what they're going to go through here. Is maybe a hit and run or a straight steal, and not take the bat out of the hands of White here. No, they had the conference. We're all set to go, and Rodolphe just waiting for the umpire to get set. I'm not really sure what he's waiting for. I'm looking. Okay. So Mitch Blair will put the catcher's mask back on, getting into his crouch, and we are good to go. And Rodolphe has an excellent move to first base. And that's going to be it right there, yeah. Not a big lead at all, but he just kind of wants to get into the game with the throw to first, and Sharon will dive back. Sharon does have a stolen base back in the 2nd inning. They got a 3rd chance here for another pickoff. There it is. Yeah, that is the 3rd runner they've gotten in either a pickle or a pickoff tonight. I'll tell you what, Rodolphe really brought that knee on a break. I mean, thought they might call him for a balk, but he'll get the pickoff instead. And 2 down, nobody on base now, and Alan White. He attempted a bunt in an earlier at-bat for a base hit, so he does here. And that came in high for a ball. Yeah, so Fairhaven had a runner picked off in the 1st. Kurt Hughes got picked off. Then a pickoff in the 5th, and now the pickoff here in the 6th. Back in the 5th, it was Evan Davis who got picked off, and then here it was Tyler Sharon. But the post 49 squad still with that 1-0 lead in the top of the 6th. That's going to be down to Aquistapace. He'll take it unassisted, step on the bag, and we'll keep that 1-0 score going into the bottom of the 6th. Fairhaven with a lead over Rutland. Bottom of the 6th, scheduled for 7. Things getting tight. Rutland had runners to 2nd and 3rd in the last inning. Couldn't get that timely hit, and they got, well, right where you want to be if you're down just 1 run. You got Bloomer, Aquistapace, Carter due up. Bloomer reached in the 1st inning on an error, and then he struck out. So he's only getting his 3rd at bat. His Maycomer has been very efficient tonight as usual. And he's getting him into the 6th inning of work. He hasn't thrown an overabundance of pitches at all. He's got the 8 strikeouts. Give him up a couple little bloop hits. And that, Alan White gets a late start. Will pick up the ball, make the catch. He's got that good makeup speed like that if he's a little late on the jump. And there's going to be one out here in the 6th. Now Zach Aquistapace up. He has struck out swinging twice. Both times it was a breaking ball that got him. Aquistapace had struck out 3 times against Bennington, and then he also had that booming double to center field. So he's a Dave Kingman type hitter. He can look bad on a couple at bats, but he's got so much power. If you can get a hold of one, he can do some serious damage. And don't forget, Maycomber throws hard from that left side. He's going to generate a lot of power for the hitter. As the shadow is creeping out over the mound now here at St. Peter's Field. Just a great place to come watch a ball game. I tell you, you got to grab a Legion schedule and get down here in person and watch a Legion baseball game right here from St. Peter's Field. Yeah, and again, Aquistapace struggled with that breaking ball, and he struggled with that one right there as he'll swing through it, and he'll be down in the count 0-2. Instead, at the beginning of the broadcast, Maycomber type of pitcher is usually always around the plate, so you got to get that bat off the shoulder early in the count, or you'll be down in the count, and he's pretty much lived up to that billing tonight. Yeah, he went to the breaking ball for the out pitch, just came a little bit too far inside, and he'll be 1-2 now. Now, it's not just the ability to throw the ball, it's the thinking, the sequencing, setting up his pitches like he's done. That's just wonderful to watch. Got him! Yeah. What did he throw him? He threw him a breaking ball for the strike 3, and that'll become strikeout number 9. 3rd time he's got Aquistapace. Boy, 2 down now, and Ryan Carter up. Carter struck out looking in the 1st inning, then grounded out to the 2nd baseman, Beelan, in his last at-bat in the 4th. I'm going to tell you what, if they can get through this 2-3-4 slot with no damage done, Fairhaven will be looking a little bit more at ease going to that 7th. If Carter will follow it off. In Carter type of power, he can take it out of the yard. In the best and only scoring chance for Rutland came in the last inning, 2nd and 3rd and 2 down, and just couldn't get that. Or Maycomber had the big strikeout, his 8th strikeout to end that inning. Yeah, and Carter, again, they're just off balance. He's got the fastball, and he's got the breaking ball, and he's setting them up, and he's got the batters just second-guessing themselves right now. Carter will take a little walk. Remember, he got called out looking on strike 3 in the 1st inning, and he's got an 0-2 count to deal with right now. Maycomber looking for strikeout number 10. The pitch on the way. No. Wrapped around the plate. Didn't nick the corner. And very disciplined at bat right there by Ryan Carter. Again, the DH, Aaron Bloomer, on deck. In case Carter can get it done here and get on base. It'll be low below the knee, and he'll work it back to a 2-2 count. And then right here, a lot of times tonight, either... Well, he hasn't gone to a lot of 3 balls, but he has it very few times. Or in a 2-2 count, he's gone to the breaking ball. And he went breaking ball there. And Carter has worked it back to a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. But again, Maycomber has been so effective tonight, you really don't know what to expect him to throw right here. From the full windup, the pitch. Got him! Yeah, got him. Look at, he'll get strikeout number 10, and there's no doubt about it. Yeah, 10 strikeouts for Maycomber, and he's taken the number 3 and 4 hitters and has combined for 5 strikeouts right there. And I expected him to be dominant, and he has been dominant. And Joe Rodolfi, number 13, the pitcher for Rutland, is back to you right now. His job, keep it a 1-run deficit right here in the top of the 7th. After a brief rainstorm, a beautiful night to watch a ball game. That's going to be to the backstop for a ball. It's going to be Gilbert, Goodwin, and Davis due up. And I should correct myself, Tyler Gilbert, Goodwin, and Davis, and then Ryan Gilbert, if they do get to a 4th batter here. And that's too far inside. That'll be 2 balls now. Now Sereno remains in center field. He came in last inning on the defensive change, and Oliver remains in right field. And they're 1 pitch away from getting the leadoff batter on right here. Gilbert has had a single. He's grounded out to the shortstop, Chad Ryan. And see if he's taking all the way with a 3-0 count. He is, and he'll be on, so they'll get pretty decent speed on down at first base. And Carl Goodwin up. Now, he has struck out twice tonight, and last time we saw Fairhaven get the leadoff batter on, they tried to bunt him over to second base. Again, they're playing. You got to remember the situation in the ball game with their pitcher dominating Rutland right now. If they can squeeze out a run here, manufacture a run, that would be huge going in the bottom of the 7th. So I'd be very surprised not to see him try to small ball it or bunt him over right here. And I'm looking at talking about a defensive substitution, but I don't see it right now. Oh, Mike McMahon has gone in to take Ryan Carter's spot over in left field. Okay. Yeah, there's the move to first. And again, 3 runners. If there's a downside to Fairhaven, well, a couple tonight, they've left 5 men on in scoring position, and they've had 3 people either picked off or pickled off base here in the ball game. And Rodolfi, one of the pitchers who has helped nail one of the runners. Good stop by Mitch Blair behind the plate, and a head showed bunt right there. Evan Davis on deck. Yeah, so Rodolfi looking for that strike zone right now. He's issued the leadoff walk, and he's down in the count here, and he's going to go to first. And nice grab over there by Quistapace. Of course, what a luxury Quistapace is having a 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" first baseman, and Coach Sorelli going to come out and talk to Joe Rodolfi. Again, if you look back through the ball game, you know the biggest play of the ball game. There's 2. One offensively for Fairhaven was the balk that was called that allowed the run to come from third base. And game's only run back in the 2nd inning, and then the which at that time was strikeout number 8 for Maycomber, which left runners at 2nd and 3rd to end the 5th inning. We were scheduled for 7. We've made it through 7. And it's Rodolfi all set now. Again, that's a bunt attempt, and that'll be foul out of play, and it'll go to a 1-1 count. They'll retrieve the ball, bring it back into Rodolfi, and again, Bloomer down at third base, bunt position. He's about 9 to 10 steps in off the dirt onto the grass. You know, they do slap in baseball, just like in softball also. I mean, not saying he's going to, but it is also not out of the realm of things here that he'd show bunt and then slap the ball. And that's called that. That is called a strike. I thought, well, he never brought the bat back. He didn't offer, they'll say, but he never brought the bat back to a neutral position. Oh, got him. What a curveball. Dropped it right in there for a big out. And then for Rutland pitching tonight, that's 7 strikeouts, 6 for Oliver, and that's the first for Rodolfi. Right. Again, the inability to get the bunt down was huge there with nobody out. They're going to try it with 2 outs. You can see that Blair got a late start on it, and it's going to be a foul ball strike. Tell you, little things, little execution things, like when Rutland had the situation in the 5th, they tried to move it along with the bunt, and it ended up being a pop fly caught for an out. The inability to get the bunt blast batter right here recorded for the first out. It's a big difference bunting the runner over to second base with 1 out, and you bunt, then you get the batter thrown, then you got 2 outs from runner at second. There's a big difference there than bunting them over with no outs and having them at second base with just the 1 down. And right there they had the bunt on, then took it off, and that really is to the hitter's disadvantage. So Rodolfi looking to get out of the 7th inning. Ooh, close pitch, called a ball. Blair has a tendency as a catcher spot to come up early on a delivery, and I don't know if sometimes that doesn't hurt the pitcher not getting the strike called. See, like, to me that looked like a good pitch, but the catcher coming up to make the catch and receive it gives you the impression that it was high, or might block the view of the umpire. And that's going to get the runner down to second base now, and he'll do it on a wild pitch. It was a curveball that got left short, and the runner will get over to second base now with just the 1 out, so it all equals out in the end. The equivalent of the sacrifice right there. So Davis who is flied out to center field and then had the double with a big opportunity right here. And again, Rutland coming into the 7th inning down 1-0. Their main objective is to get into the bottom of the 7th down, still just 1-0. Rodolphe with a look at the runner at second. Gilbert with about an 8-step lead, and that's a drop third strike. They'll throw down to first. They'll get the out, and the runner smartly will move. That's good aggressive base runner right there. Now you might say, how come there's 2 down? Well, we've already seen one wild pitch here. Wild pitch now with a runner at third. Gives him a chance to go home. So Gilbert up. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He struck out in the first, struck out in the third, and then singled in the 5th. He's also got a stolen base tonight. He's got his older brother down at third base right now, and Tyler Gilbert. So that's going to be a wild pitch. He's coming home on the chest, and he's going to be out. Tell you what a hustle play by Mitch Blair. It was a late break from third base, and nice play to end the inning there for Rutland. A big out for post 49, and that's 6 now. 6 runners they've had in scoring position and never crossed the plate. Maycomber will come in to the bottom of the 7th with the 10 strikeouts and the 1-0 lead. TJ Oliver getting his first at-bat tonight. Remember, he was the starting pitcher, and they DH'd for him. Now they can plug him in because he stayed in that spot in the batting roster, so he can plug him in and be the hitter now. So Rutland down to 1 run with 3 outs to go, and Maycomber into the full windup, and the pitch on the way will be called a strike. Like I said, he's had 10 strikeouts in the ball game. The biggest threat he faced in the 6th, he was able to handle that. Or I'm sorry, in the 5th, and was able to get out of it with a strikeout, and he's going to be a 1-1 count right now. And I was just wondering out loud about leadoff with a bunt attempt, but they got the third baseman down there, Ryan Gilbert, in on the grass at third base, so and it'll miss just high and away. Good crowd on hand tonight. I like to see the bleachers a lot more full in this. You can get a schedule, get out, sit here live, watch the Legion game, then go home and you get to watch it all over again on Channel 15. I mean, you got to get behind Legion, no matter if you're watching Fairhaven Legion or if you live in Bennington, wherever you are, you can just get out there and support Legion baseball. It's a good cause, good fun, no price, you just walk on in. If you come to Rutland, I mean, they do have bleachers and stuff, but bring some sunscreen, whatever you do. And that's called a strike at the knee. That'll make it a full count now, and it is big in the way the night has gone offensively for Rutland if they can get the leadoff batter on here. So a 3-2 count, and Oliver was taken all the way. He'll become strikeout victim number 11 on a fastball. Yeah, Mitch Blair up. He's got a base hit tonight. One of the few base hits tonight. Mitch Blair up there, the catcher, with 1 out, nobody on. And they take Gilbert now at third base and put him back at normal position and just about 3-4 feet beyond the bag on the dirt. And it'll be high. It's not where the catcher catches it. That cross the plate high, and it'll be ball 1. So Maycomber with 11 Ks tonight. Again, he's got good pop on the ball, good movement. And like I said, though, I mean, just his mechanics are just so fundamentally sound. Just watch him when he pitches. Everything from the balance to the leg kick to the thrust. And that's a little comebacker to Maycomber. He'll pick it up, set himself, throw to first, and he's 1 out away from getting the win on the road for post 49. So Rutland coming up to the last out, and it's going to be a left-handed batting Joe Rodolphe. So Rodolphe, who started off in right field, went to the mound in relief, pitched very well, but he now is their last chance for post 31. Big swing and a miss on the fastball right down the pipe. Again, the only run of the ball game was boxed in back in the 2nd inning. If things hold the way they do right now, TJ Oliver would receive the loss for Rutland. And quickly, like I said, he's been up in the count probably 90% of the time tonight, Maycomber has. And he's up 0-2 right now. And he's looking for an even dozen in strikeouts to call it a night. Oh, what a weapon. I mean, to have a pitcher. This is the kind of guy who can steal a game for you. And when you get to playoff time. He'll get it. That's strikeout number 12. They'll throw down, and that will be the ball game. A spectacular performance by Sam Maycumber for Fairhaven post 49. They got just enough offense for him to 1 run. So back to the drawing board, and you know, a lot of teams are going to be scratching their head after facing Sam Maycumber. So congratulations to post 49. A good effort by Rutland post 31. And really get out there, support Legion Baseball, and always support Munger Vision.